Hey guys, it's been a minute, hasn't it? It's yeah, I haven't really been doing much of this in a while. I think my last video was in about September, and I said then that I was going to try and do regular uploads. Well, now it is currently February the 8th. My birthday is tomorrow, so it's yeah, it's been more than a minute, hasn't it? So let me just well, that's I guess that's what this video is all about. Then it's where exactly I've been, what have I been doing as an actor, and also as a person, really, but also a new lesson, a new video has come from what's been happening these last few months for me. So this video is going to be about balance, specifically when it comes to a work and a life balance, because yeah, I feel like it's something I've wanted to make this video for a few weeks, and I've been thinking, okay, I want now that well, I'll tell you why I want to get back into videos, when the story ends. But I want to make this video now to educate you all on why a work-life balance is so important. And I know I only want to make videos when I have a story to tell and when I have a message to share with you all. So let's take it back a few months to a few weeks, or was it a few days? It's been a bit after my previous upload where I started university. And when I started university, I knew what I was going into. I said I wanted to dominate, and to be fair, I have. But again, we'll get into that. So I started university, and I knew it was going to be a challenge because, of course, I mean it's university. It's H&C. It's a very difficult course, and it is, of course, it is a difficult course as I've learned. And I went in there, and immediately, I mean, no offense to my tutor, but it was like, bam, information, bam, here's an essay, bam, here's a performance you have to do, learn that goddamn script, bam, here's another thing you gotta do a presentation. It was just constant, everything just thrown out. I was like, have you ever seen that scene in Avatar 2 where that kid got hooked up to the machine and he's getting basically his mind like read, like, where's Jake Sully, where is he? That's kind of what I was like when I was getting all that information shoved in the noggin. And I know I said in a previous video I don't necessarily, a grade's a grade, I'm not really working for it. University was different for me because now I have a stake in this. Of course, I paid. Well, I mean I didn't really pay, but you know what I mean, like money. I am now in debt basically because I wanted to do this course, and I don't regret making that decision at all. I think this course has been amazing for me, but over the time, I it became all of my life. I wasn't necessarily worried about it. And I wasn't necessarily like, oh God, this is bad, oh, this is shit. Because again, that self-doubt I don't necessarily have now. The problem that's now arisen is I don't know, I didn't know how to switch off really. So I'm going to tell a very personal story with this one. Of course, again, I don't like to reveal names, but I feel like telling this story can hopefully educate you on why a balance in life is so important. But a bit into my university time, I got a girlfriend. I did. She was amazing. She was funny. She was a lovely person to be around, and I thought that I'd come a long way. I thought I was potentially ready for something like this. But what became clear to me over the next few weeks, I wasn't. I was a fucking idiot. Every conversation that we would have would be like, "Oh, how was your day going?" And I would respond like, "Oh yeah, I've just been doing this university work, doing this, and this. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it now. I'll talk to you in a bit." And I didn't realize it at first because initially, like during my earlier time in education and during my earlier part in life, generally, friends, relationships, that wasn't Guy Hartley. Back in high school, it was basically just me against the world. That's how it felt a lot of the time. So I was still in that sort of headspace where it's like, okay, the work has been set, go. Anyone else? Why would there be anyone else? But I don't think I realised myself how far I'd come in the last few years. And I wasn't entirely honest with you on my high school life in general, where I was fucking humiliated then. I was bullied, I was tormented, to the point where again, it was me against the world. I mean, I had a few people I spoke to. Did I consider them friends? I don't know. A part of myself didn't trust them because I thought, okay, there's some ulterior motive there. But that changed when I got to college. And I met these amazing people, kind, honest people who treated me like a human. And I just didn't really know that, I guess. They were my friends, of course I do. And they all mean the world to me, but I never got out of that headspace of, it's you against the world. They were my friends. I'm not denying that. They were my friends and I love them to death, but my mind never left that headspace of, okay, the assignment's been set, get to work. And my relationship with that woman faltered because of that, where my mind was still in that headspace of I wasn't necessarily, talking to people much. I was just focused on the work because again, it had to be done. I had to get the best grade possible. I needed to be the best, didn't I? But what was the cost of that? Well, it's simple. The relationship just fizzled. It didn't last. And of course, it was entirely, looking back, because I thought about it over the next few days after we went our separate ways. But they were absolutely right. Like they weren't in the wrong at all. Like my I didn't have that balance because I wasn't taking the time off to be with my friends, to, I don't know, play a couple of games on Xbox, to just be Guy Hartley for a bit, because the work was there and I thought that, okay, we have to get this done. This is university work now. You have a stake in this. You put money into this. So you need to get this right. And of course, I'm not saying it's not important to get the work right. It absolutely is. But the fact is, I'm not the same person I was years ago. I'm not that quiet, shy, insecure man who just was drifting through life, just not really with a purpose. I have a purpose. It's to my friends, to my family, the people that I care about. I want to be a people person. I really, really do. But I guess I made a mistake. I did. I didn't put. Well, I'm not putting them first. Isn't the right way of saying it. I guess I didn't have the balance that I needed as a person, because doing your work in like university, be it a job, high school, college, that is so important as well. But the relationships you make upon the way, to me, is what makes life special. Because when I first arrived at college, and the reason I look so fondly back on my time at college, it's not because of the place. The place, it's irrelevant. It was never about the place. It's about the people. And the friendships I made along the way, they meant the world to me. So when I broke up with that girl and when I was getting a bit more distant with my friends, it was about maybe November time where I realised that this wasn't working. I had changed as a person. I was no longer the quiet, insecure person. I am Guy Hartley, but I've grown. I've evolved as a person. And that's why a balance is so important to maintain in your life, because there's so much more beauty than a good grade in life. I know that. I can open this window now and see the beauty that's out there. But of course, because I was so focused on looking onto a screen on a computer, I didn't realize that, and I've lost that. So, what have I been doing to make up for this in the months that I've been just thinking about having a better work-life balance? Well, it's simple. I've just been getting out there more as a person. That doesn't mean to say I've stopped I've stopped doing the work, because of course the work's very important, but that's not the only important thing in life. And because of my early time in university, I've learned that lesson now. I know that as a person. So what have I been doing? Um, Xbox. I've been playing that a decent bit more. I'm not just playing the same games and doing some mediocre like tasks like, oh, let's go play Starfield and go get some weapons so I can break them down or whatever. It's not. It's like new games, taking in new experiences, new stories. I have a massive catalogue of games, just to get through my spare time, because I do have spare time. It doesn't have to be about uni. I've been watching more movies and hanging out more with my family, which has been an amazing time, because again I get to socialise more with my family. I've been going out taking my dogs on walks, which is what allows me to be more appreciative of the world that we have, because there's a lot of beauty out there if you look beyond the screen. And then there's my friends as well. I've been talking to them a lot more, like text wise and all that. And I want to progress that further. I want to start hanging out with friends outside of it. Like, I don't know, maybe go to the gym with some of my friends. Maybe just go bowling for a day. So the point is, and the point of this story that I'm hoping that you will all learn from, is that education is important, work is important, your goals are important. Whether you want to be an artist, whether you want to be a mathematician, that's an incredibly important goal to have, and it's always important to work towards these goals. But there are people out there. There's a lot of people out there, and I know some of them care about you. Whether they're your family, whether they're someone you may be interested in romantically, whether they're your friends, there's always someone out there who would want to be with you, be it platonically or romantically. It doesn't matter. So you need to put those people somewhere in your life as well. You can't just cast them off, focus on the work, and expect them to still be there, because that's not fair, because you're not there. So the gist of the story is, whatever you're doing in life, just make sure you're setting some time aside for yourself and for the people you care about. Because, you may get an amazing grade, you may become the best actor, the best artist, or the best mathematician, but I guess for me, I've been just wondering, well, what the hell's the point if there's no one there to stand alongside you, be it your friend, your girlfriend, your family? If no one's there standing with you, why are you truly going for it? What have you achieved now? You're the best, but who exactly knows it? If only yourself knows it, then I just don't think that's enough. I think it's important to keep those people with you along the way, and to share that success with them, to share their successes with them, to communicate and be friends and be family. That's what it means to be human. And that's what it means to have a proper work-life balance. To not only share the personal times with them, but also the work life as well. Share your achievements, share the personal time together. And then not only will you find yourself much more happy, you'll find yourself much more successful, because you have something more than just a degree. You have friends and family, and to be honest, what more could you want in life? To have people alongside you. It's a gift. I know that now. So, yeah, these last few months have been very educational for me. Not just in education-wise, but also as a person. I now know that the relationships you make upon the way are some of the most important things you'll ever discover in life. So, going forward, I will always make sure to put these relationships not necessarily first, but on the same level as my education or any work, so I can achieve a balance in life. And that is one of the most important things you can have as a person. So, I got really into that video. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I really hope I always hope you take away something from my video. So I hope that by watching this video, let's say you may be going for the same thing, where you're focusing so much on your education or be it your job, that you're starting to lose people along the way. I hope you've taken something away from this video where you can hopefully work towards achieving that better work-life balance. So, yeah, that's been the video. Now, moving on to the next thing I want to talk about. Just to close out the video, the story's over now, so if you want to just say, all right, well, he told his story, I can fuck off now. Who cares what he has to say next? If you want to go, by all means. But let's talk about the future of this channel and what I want this channel to be. I don't want it to just be focused on my acting journey. Of course, I am going to keep talking about my acting journey, because I'm sure more stories are going to arise over the next few years of education and then going on to the professional life. Of course, I do have a professional acting career now, but when it really takes off, I do still want to be uploading videos then. But I think to give the channel more variety, and also to give me more stuff to talk about, why don't we open it up? Why don't we change the way I tell my videos? Why don't we make it more life-based? Again, this video was a lot, very focused on the life aspect of, life, focusing on work-life balance. Why don't we open it up? Why don't we talk about things like redemption in a person? Why don't we talk about what makes a person happy? What can make a person sad? What can make someone depressed? Why don't we talk about that and just expand it and really explore what makes a person, and how that person could potentially grow and learn from just simply by taking in another person's perspective? Because again, I'm not an expert on, physiology or, psychology, when it comes to that sort of thing, all I can do is offer a different perspective. So maybe by talking about my experience and my interpretation of these certain things, like with these videos, maybe you can learn something just by taking in another perspective on these certain things. So that's where I want to take this channel going forward. So from now on, I am going to try and upload a bit more. It's not going to be months on end. I promise. At least, no, I won't promise. I will try. That's what I'll do. Maybe by uploading to this channel, I can get more of a work-life balance. So there we go. We can't lose, really. Yeah, we can't lose. So yeah, we'll do that from now on. Why don't we? We'll talk a bit more about our experiences, and also before we end off the video, I've started reading as well. The Witcher, The Last Witch. I've started reading this as well. Give it a read. Really good book. I might give book recommendations in my videos as well. But yeah, so that's, anyway, sorry about that. But that's the future this channel's going to take, and I hope you can stay on board, and I hope you can keep enjoying and learning something from my my videos and my perspective on this ever-changing dynamic that we call life. Because life, my friends, it ain't simple, it ain't easy. There's always something to learn. So hopefully you can pick up something from these videos. So yeah, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and an honour to have you with me through these 16 and 27 seconds. So thank you and goodbye.